We live. All right. Y'all, I was going to wait on y'all to get in here, but forget all that. Welcome, everybody. It is episode 9 of season 2 of the Brown and Balance live show. If you don't know who I am, I'm your humble host, Josh Davis. I had to take it back to the OG Brown and Balance setup, man. It's just one of them days I felt like since what Brown and Balance was, man. You know, I was moved upstairs and tried to give you guys a little different background, but we going back to where it's all at and where everything started, you know what I mean, getting back to the essence of what we do. So how we start off every show, man, don't never change, man. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Arrest Breonna Taylor's killers, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to everyone else we've lost to unfortunate, black people, unarmed black people getting killed, unfortunately, man. Rest in peace to everyone else that we lost. Rest in peace to my dad, rest in peace to my uncle, everybody else we lost this year, man. So I hope everybody out there, you guys are staying safe, stay tested. I'm not going to tell you to get vaccinated or not. That ain't my job. If you do, good. If you don't, that's on you too. But if you're not, take whatever precaution you can and stay safe, man, so we can continue to do this. And eventually we can do this in person and hang out with you guys for real. We got a great show today. For the second time, everybody on our show today and all our guests on our show today are Black business owners, man. That's one thing that's super, super important. And that's one thing that is super vital to us to continue to grow, as a community and as a culture, is for us to own things. Everybody I know, thank you all for all the messages and everything yesterday for what happened yesterday. But you know what? If you own things, you ain't got to worry about looking for any other validation. You know what I mean? You're going to get it from where it's important, and that's community, and that's family, and that's friends. So y'all already know what it is. I brought back the OG Campari hoodie. You know what I mean? So, my super producer, I know he's going to drop it in. Follow Campari Community, on Instagram. Definitely jump on that mailing list. I'm very sure the mailing list will be in the comments somewhere at some point. You know what I mean? And it's scrolling on the screen. So, again, I just got something last week. Shout out to Campari for sending me a nice little gift last week for my top 10 nomination. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. And, hey, guys, the only way you can get involved, the only way you can get stuff like that is to do two things. Follow them on the gram and then jump on that mailing list, all right? So without further ado, I'm bringing my first guest on, my brother. We have a funny past of how we met. We almost was an altercation when we first met because I didn't know him. He knew one of my closest friends, man. Rest in peace to Aaron. But from my hometown, even though he's in Baltimore right now, but he's still a Chicago dude, man. I want to bring my brother Nick Hill of 3 Spice Shrubs on the screen. What's up, man?
Hey, perfect, man. How you, brother?
I'm good, man. How you feeling? I'm surprisingly better. You know me, man. I tore up some stuff yesterday, but I'm doing good today, man.
Hey, man. Dwayne has some great words for you.
He did.
Great words and great perspective. So, just like he's saying, you doing what you're doing. That wasn't going to change. So you guys stay on that path, right?
Absolutely. That's why I said I wasn't going to come on today. I wasn't going to be petty. I'll change my name, though, because the 50 Cent gene that I have popped in just for a second. So I ain't going to be petty today, man. It's all love, man. But how are you, man? How's your mental? How's the family? How's everything going with you?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Family's good. Little guy's in kindergarten. He's tearing it up already, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Nixon's wild.
Already? Man. I feel like we were there for bars or two, man.
And you was just hold him like this, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good, man. Well, let's talk about you, dog. Like, let's get in your background. I know, like I said, we met you in the Chicago scene along with me. We was out here trying to work our way into the scene and figure out, which direction we was going to go in. I had no idea that I would be doing this and you would be doing 3 Spice. I had no idea this is where we would end up. But talk about, your background, especially with what you also do outside of the industry as well, man, to got you to the point with 3 Spice.
Yeah, indeed, brother. First and foremost, man. There we go. Throw it in the air.
Baby.
Yeah, man. Definitely had to get you there, man. So yeah, brother. Southside boy, born and raised. My pops, whole family, Morgan Park, 112 Illumins, man. That's the soil. So me personally, I'm an architect by current trade and training. Been working in firms since I was fresh out of high school. And me and Julia and Dee Dee and Max and Shaw were taking the metro downtown, man. So, me and Aaron, again, God bless the dead. went to Morgan Park together. So we always had a connection through drafting, the drafting classes I took. So he knew I was definitely in architecture, stayed with it. And then once I went to grad school and kind of studied 50 million things, but really started to focus on culture, how do you study culture? And then I started to focus on drinking culture and drinking environments, drinking places, because then that's global, right? And through centuries, right, eons, every type of person, every type of community, every type of group, I put all that information together into a blog, the Congenial Hour. It's on Tumblr. Content never dies. Definitely check it out. Content never dies. So then once I started getting there, I'm like, man, I need to do something else. So it's like I've already got all this, but I want to jump into it a little bit, see what this is about. So I got involved with the Academy of Spirits and Fine Service.
Yep.
That Southern Wine and Spirits at the time, that was a Glazer Southern, but they were doing with the USBG Illinois chapter, and learned a lot, man. Definitely set the foundation for me. Learned a lot about spirits education, production techniques, aging requirements, mixology techniques and processes, just everything, man. So that was just the setup. I always tell people I come from the show. So, from there, getting into mobile bartending, getting into bartending events, really the show, tales, like all these things that were going on that wasn't just like starting out as, you're starting at a bar, you popping open another MGD for this guy that's, crying over his wife that's leaving him, like, it wasn't that kind of path. It was like all this show and panache and everything with it. So how Aaron, saw what I was doing, what I was posting, he got in touch. He was like, man, you need to holler my guy Nikolas. He's really doing something, man. Y'all need to meet. So it was one of the was it Meals on Wheels event? That event downtown, man. And I said, oh, that's Josh. So, hey, Josh is out Nikolas. He's like, hold on, man. Slow down, brother. Slow down. But it was just, so we met then, man, chopped it up, and it's been on and popping ever since, man. So, like I said yesterday, Brian, it's one thing to say something. We can all do the social media thing, but, me and you talked a week ago about real stuff, man. So, whether we do it for each other, whether we do it for people to see, my support ain't going nowhere.
I appreciate
definitely, and appreciate this platform. The only thing it takes, man, it's like, people win certain things because of who they are, what they've done, and how many eyes they got on. So it's my responsibility. I think all of our responsibility that you're giving this platform to continue to raise our platform and how people view us, so that we make you look better. So that people are like, oh, he got, I'm some little shrub guy, right, doing these things, right? But if I'm, the shrub baron of the Mid-Atlantic, they're like, oh, look who Josh had on,
Right, exactly.
So it goes both ways, man. All of us appreciate the platform you're giving us, but we got to raise our stature as well. We got to get our weight up as well. So it's part of that path. So that's the piece, man. Architect by trade and training, a father by grace and blessing, bartender and server by hard work and dedication. Your favorite shrubber's favorite shrubber by passion and motivation.
I love it.
So that's what it is, man. After I stopped, when Nixon was born, so basically how I got moved out to Baltimore, definitely. Got one of these.
Black love.
Yes, indeed. And then, I basically, the firm I was working for at the time, I was able to kind of hold my work I front loaded my week. So Monday to Wednesday, I worked 10 hours a day. And then Thursday and Friday, I work half days. So I could, push that in the morning. Thursday through Sunday, I could push, get my shifts going. So I was able to do that for a few years. When Nixon got born, I'm like, I had 2 jobs. Now this is 3. This ain't working out. So, gave up taking shifts then. And but then, these 2 hands ain't going nowhere. So, still wanted to stay involved, still wanted to stay engaged and do something. I had already come from making. So it's just, okay, how can I make now? So the big picture, I'll get around to why I do what I do and how I got here with 3 Spice. The initial plan and point of research, which is now the end game, was for 5 Spice. So classic punch, 5 ingredients, right? Now, this mirrored thing is screwing me up, so I gotta get over here. But strong for the spirits, weak for the water content, sweet for obviously sugar, sour for any citrus component, and then they were all garnished with classic with spice. So 5 components. So if you take the three of those, if you take out the strong, you take out the weak, you got the sour, the sweet, and the spice. It's 3 spice. I started out going for 5 spice, which is going to be a bottled carbonated cocktail. There's a shared kitchen incubator within a stone's throw of my house. So I always thought, okay, I could start out, get over there, and then really get things popping. But then I looked, okay, can I rectify in a shared kitchen in Baltimore City? No, you cannot. So I was like, okay, I'd have to get my own facility. I'm looking into the zoning to see where, what would have to be. And I found a spot. I still pass it, almost all the time, man. I was like, oh, there, that'll be a 5 spice, headquarters.
Headquarters, right.
Yeah, but, put in all the research to see where I could do what I want to do. And then it was the situation, okay, do I want to jump out the window? But at that point, whole lot of capital.
Yeah.
Do you have a proof? Get into your Shark Tank stuff, right? How much capital do you have or willing to put in, or can you acquire? What is your proof of concept? Have you done anything? What are your sales? I ain't want to go in front of somebody and have someone like Mr. Wonderful say, "Oh, that's nothing burger." You ain't done nothing yet. So absolutely. All these things, man. So I ran through the gamut, and I'm like, I don't know about that. So I'm like, okay, if I take out the strong, right, won't deal with liquor. That's easier. If I take out the water component, I don't have to deal with the health department on the issues.
Right.
I'll do the shrubs. I knew I could do that yesterday, but how can I do it? And then I started looking at the cottage food requirements, which allows you to work and produce out your residential kitchen. So I submitted. I had to send a sample up to Cornell to get the pH test and everything to make sure everything was cool. Came back fine. Submitted. They said no. I was like, wow. Okay, I might have to jump out the window. And then the guy that I was working with, he was just as frustrated as I was, because he's like, it's a shrub. Like, it's you add acid to acid, you got more acid. Like, nothing's happening. Right. There's no foodborne illness, no botulism, no nothing. Like, it's not going to turn. So he was really frustrated. He's like, just, I'm going to continue to push, but for right now, it's a no. So I started thinking then, like, man, I might have to jump out the window if I want to do this. And he came back a couple months later, called me and was like, hey, congratulations. You're the first shrub to be approved for cottage food law in Maryland. Wow. So I made Black History. So that's the piece. So from there, it's like, cottage food allows you to jump off the porch, basically. You can go out and you sell at farmers markets, makers markets, events like that. You can do pop-ups. They've extended the law so that you can mail within the state. You can make deliveries within the state. You can sell at food co-ops. They basically won't let you do everything, though. You can't just do what you can't sell online. I can't drop ship, so I can't you can get it through Amazon anywhere in the world. Can't do that. Hold on, bro. Yeah. So that's the main thing. You can't sell it, full retail, like supermarkets, things of that nature. But they allow you to, and there's a cap also as far as revenue. It's a $25,000 cap. So it really is people that are trying to test something out, people are trying to get things going, see what they can do, but without any kind of it all. So that was the thing. So it allowed me to, again, jump off the porch, show people who I am, what I'm about, what my pedigree is, what I can do, and then, start to generate attention, start to generate activity, start to pull in some eyes, start to pull in some pockets, start to, meet some friendly distillers, hopefully, and then we can get 5 spice popping. 4 spice is actually a canned carbonated mocktail. So that's the whole line. So 3 spice with the shrubs. Add the water to it, you get a canned carbonated mocktail. Add the liquor to it, you get a bottled carbonated cocktail. So I love that, man. That's the plan. That's the movement, and that's the end game.
I love that. And I love the fact that you said, like, the one thing, like, Black business owners. I've been one. I'm still one. All that, and you and everybody else on the panel today. I'm sure we've all had that. Hey, I just got to jump out the window moment. You know what I mean? Like, and raising capital. Like, that's the biggest thing in our community. Why there aren't as many owners. Like, there's so many talented people that have so many dope ideas, but the capital. Trying to get the people to get behind you and the support, that's where it really comes in, where we have to support each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We have to put each other on platforms. We have to say, hey, don't ship me no more free. I'm going to buy some more. Indeed. I appreciate this, but the next time I get some, I'm going to purchase it. That will help you, get that capital so that, you can continue to build and go to 4 and 5, and we can 6, 10 spice. We can do all type of stuff. Hey, we can flip them like we back on the block, man, and we can it happen. You know what I mean? So, what's your inspiration? Like, I've gotten a few different shrubs from you. What's your? I love the Chicago references in the name of it, so I know that. But for everybody else out there that might not know, like, what's your inspiration behind your flavors and behind the different types of shrubs that you're doing?
Yeah. It all comes from, it really comes from, I'll say this, man, you have to do who you are. and you can't be something that you're not. You can't do something that you don't know.
Absolutely.
So, am I a chef? No, but I've been around some wonderful chefs that have it here and have it right here, right?
Hmm.
And I've seen some great things. Am I bartending right now? No, but I've been around some of the greatest bartenders that I know, that I've seen that have done wonderful things. Am I a sommelier? No, but I've sat through 15 months of CMS and WSET wine education. So that's the piece, man. Everything that I can do is based on what I've seen or done at one time or another. So
Right.
where do the shrubs come? How do I put together shrubs? Really, as like I said, it comes back to punch. Like I love making punch, but at a certain point in time, I'm like, man, I like holding on to my arms, man. Juicing all this citrus is gonna kill me. So you start looking for different ways of introducing acidity into a cocktail or into a
Right.
punch, right? So I was okay, vinegar, right? Verjus, other different things, man. So when I got on the vinegar, I was okay, yeah, cool, I could do that. The other thing about me able to make these shrubs is that it's shelf stable, right? So cockroaches, Twinkies, and Three Spice, they're gonna be around after the nuclear holocaust, really, but again, I didn't create shrubs, as you know, they go back centuries, man.
Yeah,
Before
absolutely.
refrigeration, when people use sugar and vinegar as to preserve produce across growing seasons. So fruit, sugar, and vinegar. That's all that's in this. I use, I take fruit, chop it up, break it down, let it set in sugar. Obviously, it's maceration. I'll turn it to a fruit syrup. I take my vinegars, I infuse them with different herbs and spices, combine the two in equal parts, three
Boom.
spice,
3
bang
spice.
bang. So why do I come out with in particular ones? I mean, the cocktail that I posted last night, obviously getting the Russell's Reserve and the Campari, and looking at a Boulevardier. Mine the Alameda, the Alameda is a street in Baltimore, man, in the community, bro. I live right off it. It just make it's a play on words, right? So a lot of the names for my shrubs are play on words or terms. But as far as what I'm going for, the first one I came out with, the rosé shrub, that's the one I used in the Alameda.
I remember that.
Yeah, I went to fashion like a classic rosé wine. And that's a glorious image right there.
That is very super
That stuff
producer.
look nice. I might have to buy some of that stuff,
Yeah,
man.
super producer, man. Super producer.
Yeah, super producer Dave, like Dayline's producer, man, super Dave. So, the rosé shrub was one of the first that I came out with. I went to fashion it like a classic rosé. So obviously you're gonna get your red, and that's just all wine experience, right? Wine education. You're gonna get your um, Big Derek Lane on the
Yeah, D Lane.
I saw my man Trey earlier. Good to have y'all support, man.
Another good Chicago brother,
Yes,
right
indeed. Yes, indeed. So you get your red berry notes, right? You're gonna get your stone fruit in there with some rosés as well. You're gonna get maybe some citrus in there, notes in there as well, and some lifting acidity. So mine, strawberry. I'll say about the one I have now, not the first one I came out with. Just changed it a little bit, but macerated. So obviously all the fruits are macerated fruit syrup, but strawberry, white peach, grapefruit, kumquat, and then with this one I use a little bit of apricot as well.
Wow.
Two types of vinegar, champagne vinegar and red vinegars. What's Greek, but it comes from Corinthian grapes. So obviously you get the rosé one, you get both of those types of vinegar. The champagne vinegar that I use in many of my shrubs, not all, but many of them, is unpasteurized. So when you start talking about health benefits, people always, oh, you should drink apple cider vinegar, it'll save your life, it'll knock off 8,000 pounds. No, it's not going to do that. But apple cider vinegar is a bit of a misnomer. As long as you use unpasteurized vinegar, that's the vinegar with the mother, then you get those same health benefits. So I don't have to use apple cider vinegar at the same. I get unpasteurized champagne vinegar. It's a lighter vinegar, so it's not going to be overpowering like balsamic. It's a wonderful blank canvas, so to speak. It's still going to add more notes, obviously very light notes of maybe I'll say Asian pear, a little bit of brioche in there. Nothing heavy though. It's light. It serves a purpose. It's wonderful for my shrubs. So that was the rosé. So that's how I did it. Other ones that I have, I mean, these right here, Flight of the Concord. That's a Concord grape-based shrub. A lot of different herbs and spices in there. A little bit of Thai basil, lavender, tarragon infused champagne vinegar. Really herbal and it's fragrant. I love that one. Got my dark matter. When you talk about really going for it, trying to be great, right? Like I said, I've seen greatness, so I gotta try and be great, right? So that one, hyper local fruit, hyper seasonal fruit as well. Black raspberries, they're around 2 weeks out the season when it's gone. Me and Aaron check our calendars every year. Black raspberries and black currants, and then Banyos vinegar. French vinegar is aged for 5 years. So how many shrubbers using banyuls in their shrubs?
Right.
This
Right.
guy. Right
Word.
here. So
Word.
you gotta try and be great, man. If ain't nobody tell me that, ain't nobody show up, kick my door in, hold some, man. Hey, make some shrubs right now. So if you don't jump off the porch, go out there and be great. You're trying to be an example. You're trying to make yourself proud. You're trying to, be passionate what you do and show people who you are and what you're about. Go out there and be great. So
Absolutely.
with 3 Spice, that's what I'm trying to do, man.
Man, I love it. I love it, bro.
So just with the Chicago piece, man, like I said, I'm just doing everything that, you got to be who you are. I'm from the Chi that's never going anywhere. So the Summer Chi is a bit of a play on the rosé. Uses strawberry and white peach, red vinegar and champagne vinegar. The red vinegar is infused with smoked paprika. The champagne vinegar is infused with rosemary. Rosemary I got from my neighbor a couple doors down. Right? I did the first one. And then the mild sauce, I love red currants. Got some red currant syrup, macerated that. And what else? A little bit of 2 of the same vinegars. No, actually just champagne vinegar, but infused with just different peppers. So I got some paprika in there, got some gochujang, Korean spice, white pepper. One more thing I might be forgetting. But once I got together, I was like, it's kind of feel like mild sauce, man. So, we got to add on our heralds, and it's where you're from, it's how you were raised, it's what you saw coming up, the things that are in you that never go anywhere. And now you just put it on another platform and put out to a wider audience. But to be able to do something like that and send that to you, because you would get it, that means everything to me, So I'm a writer at heart, and me and one of my guys used to always say, like, you don't write so everything. It's just like Raekwon said on Wu-Tang Forever. We do this for certain individuals, right? So if I write something, I know everyone ain't gonna get it. It's not meant for everybody. I put together certain, concepts or certain names or whatever on my shrubs. Everybody won't get it unless I'm in front of them preaching the gospel at a market or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But I'll send that to you and you'll get it.
Absolutely.
You'll get like from day one, So that's the piece, man.
Word. I love it, bro. Hey, look, I could do me and you could be on here all day, but we gotta let some other folks get a little bit of, you know what I mean?
Indeed.
Let the people know how to find you on the internet. He's married, ladies, so don't be in the because I know his wife and she like to fight.
Keep your silk drawers away from me, ladies.
Right, you know what I mean? Man, let the people know, man, how to get at you, how to, you know what I mean, to
right. So right there, again, Super Dave got the IG handle on there. Definitely, check the content, check the posts, send a message if you have any questions about anything. Facebook as well, right there, the link right there. I've got a mark. If you're in the Baltimore area or know someone in the Baltimore area or DC area, whole DMV, I'm going to be at the Soha Street Market around the corner of Southern Avenue, Hartford Road on Sunday from 12 to 5. So definitely grab some 3 Spice there. Hey, it's a local product, local makers. You gotta, hey man, ain't no more local than 2 hands in the kitchen.
And it's black owned, man. We gotta support our black business.
Indeed. Josh, number love to you, brother.
Hey, number love to you, dog. I've been telling you I was gonna get you on this. I almost cursed. I've been doing good.
Right.
That's just that, man. We from the hundreds, man. It's different. But no, I've been saying I wanted to get you on here, man, to definitely tell your story. We're gonna have to have you back again. When we get 4 and 5 Spice and all that going, we need to have you back and talk all that progress, man. But you already know if you need me, you know how we do it. I got you.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Hey, respect to you and your whole team, man. This is a wonderful platform.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all follow the movement. 3 Spice.
That's what it is, man. 3 Spice, y'all get in. I can't because there's gangbanging in Chicago if I throw that. And I wasn't part of that one, so I can't do it. So, right. So, thanks, brother Nick, man. I appreciate it, man. We're going to jump on to our next guest, man. I ain't going to over talking too long. Man, that was dope, y'all. It's black businesses, man, and black businesses getting it out the mud. That's the one thing that I really, truly try to support. I'm really mad he sent me these bottles. I wish I could have just purchased them, but that's okay. He's going to get his bill, in a couple of hours from me today. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump to the next guest. I'm not even going to do the Campari commercial this time because y'all should already know what it is, but we'll do it after the next one. We're going to go back to one of our most requested season 1 guests. She is back. I stepped my chicken wing game up. After speaking with her, Chef Kyisha, we're going to bring her on the screen. What's up, man? You on mute.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah, they still outside the window. That's what it was.
They actually just stopped, believe it or not. It literally was it was not timed more perfect that they just finished up right on time. So
I had a feeling. I put a call in and was like, look, I'm gonna let Nick talk. You know what I mean?
was like, talk about the shrubs. Keep talking about the shrubs.
But yo, you have been our most requested guest to come back.
God, thank you.
You had an excellent, intro to being part of the Brown and Balance family. And like, I just want to know, how are you? Because when we talked last, like we were in the middle of the pandemic, and we were really like in the thick of it. So how are you coming out of it?
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like things definitely picked back up. That even just kind of like being in that middle phase, I feel like everybody was still, kind of tiptoeing around wanting to get together and, do all the things. And now everything is just wide open. But I still have been very selective as to whom, I work with and chef with. I just came off of a really intense but productive last few weeks. Co-hosted, co-chef a Secret Garden pop-up dinner with a friend of mine, and then I just had my second tasting experience with the Frist Museum for the Kara Walker exhibit, which was really huge. So so that was really a lot of fun. And so now I'm going right back into busy season, going into Q4 with all the holiday things, people coming with their last minute requests.
You already know.
Yeah.
You already know. I was on the way down there for Fisk Homecoming, but then they canceled it.
Yeah, they canceled it. Yeah.
I was gonna hit you up and just be like, hey, I'm in the city, let's hang out. You know what I mean? But what I mean? Couldn't do it. So what we got? They said, I heard we got some cooking tips coming.
Yeah. So the recipe that I did today, utilizing the Campari. So I was kind of going with like we're in fall now, and I'm trying to avoid the pumpkin spice madness.
Please do.
It just, I'm like, it's appropriate for some things, but it can't just be bastardized for everything. It drives me nuts. So with Campari, because it does have those natural spice notes, I was really trying to play up on that and doing something you can honestly do all year round. But because we are going into fall and, talking about like preserved fruits and things, I was using or utilizing stone fruits, things that are already dried. So you can find dried apricots, dried figs. I get dried hibiscus even from Trader Joe's, which is really nice, and reconstituting it with a poaching liquid utilizing the Campari, and playing up the spice notes by adding in extra bay leaf and cinnamon and clove, and kind of utilizing the bitter and then the sweet from your stone fruits, poaching that, and then we're putting it on top of a warmed brie, which I love to serve. And I do different versions of brie all year round. And so for this, it's almost kind of similar to vacherin, where you take the top off. Vacherin is an actual type of double cream cheese, but everybody can't get to that. So brie is probably going to be your most, found most common. And so you're taking the top off of the brie. You're adding a little bit of white wine, and you're going to cover it and bake it. So I'm sure everybody does like a version of a baked brie. This is just another kind of alternative. And then we're poaching our fruits in the Campari and picking up all those really beautiful spice notes and the citrus. And removing those fruits, chopping them down, and adding them on top of the brie. Now, you can also do this if you're not a huge fan of brie. I love burrata. And if you want to kind of stick with the Italian kind of notes, doing this with burrata would be really beautiful, especially during the summertime. And then serving it with whatever you like, or just eating it with a spoon. No one's judging around these parts anymore. And just kind of taking a typical kind of even like a holiday spread, and just boosting it with things that you from your liquor cabinet. Hello, Campari. And just finding different ways to use it aside from in a cocktail. And then what I had also suggested is after you use your poaching, after you've taken all your fruits out, save your poaching liquid. Like, don't throw it away. I tried to do zero waste as much as I can handle it. And so with having your poaching liquid, you can freeze it and turn it into a granita. You can reduce it down and make it into, a sauce, which would be really beautiful, like on, tenderloin, like a pork tenderloin or something like that. You can even take the same poached fruits, and I like to actually stuff like a pork tenderloin and do like a roulade. There's just like so many things that you can do with this. But I thought it would be nice just as an introduction to present it as an hors d'oeuvre or an appetizer type setup.
Between you and Nick, I am really, really hungry right now. I feel that, like, between the two of you. This looks amazing. So everybody out there watching, by all means, please screenshot the screen. You know what I mean?
It's really super easy. I could not have set it up more easy for you.
Yeah, this is
I can
duplicate. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try this one out this weekend because I can say here, happy birthday to my baby. She turns 13 tomorrow.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So happy birthday to Kimora. But yeah, I think we might try this tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're cooking down the alcohol, so it's obviously they're not gonna get
right. They're not gonna
get. It is 13 appropriate. She can do this with you. So.
Well, I was thinking about trying it for me and
for you too.
Down as much because my house will be full of 13-year-old girls tomorrow, and I'm just gonna hide in the basement. You know what I mean? And make
just sitting with your spoon and
yes, and just drinking the Campari. Like I'm not even gonna, So, but no, this sounds really, really delicious. Gonna have my house smelling wonderful tomorrow.
Yes.
Smells like fall in Chicago right there.
I know. I've been so ready. It's one of my favorite seasons.
It's the best season.
It's
the best season.
It is the best.
The fly hoodie, jacket weather, the fly shoes. Like you can layer some colors. Like I love fall. Yeah, I love fall. Yes. And football season's back, so
Yep. So it means chili season and soup and all of the super comforting things. So I'm so ready. I hate being hot. I don't like being. I'd rather put on layers and have options to take them off versus just being hot all the time. So
I get that. I get that. So now I asked you last time you were here. I was like, what advice would you give young Kyisha or a young up-and-coming chef? So now that you've been through the pandemic, and you've been able to make it and sustain yourself, and we're still here.
Yep.
What would be the advice you would give someone now? Because now our experiences are a little different. So somebody that's out there, so somebody out there that's at the house, probably selling plates in the hood, and they're trying to get the capital up, like we keep saying, to start their business. What would be the best advice Chef Kyisha would give them?
I would say just stay open-minded, because you just never know what opportunities may come to you, and not to be discouraged when, you have adversity. I think with the pandemic, it's definitely taught everybody to pivot in some kind of way. Maybe the first plan didn't go the way that you wanted it to. That's okay. And to re-strategize. I had to kind of come up with several different concessions, knowing that, well, if I can't always be in someone's space, especially during the pandemic and still now, because we have breakthrough cases, we have, we're in a hot spot. And so still being picky choosy, how can I diversify my income stream? And pivot at the same time, and just figuring out ways to be creative and not being discouraged. This shouldn't be a deterrent for you. This should be okay, let me go to my plan C and see if that works, and just kind of keep that on the back burner and just try it, at some point. And so I would definitely say, just because you're going into, chefing or, some sort of artistry, bartending, doesn't mean that it has to be this tunnel vision. I think to be able to be open-minded, to reach out to your friends in the community, see how you can work together. That was another thing that saved me through the pandemic, with launching the virtual supper club, was reaching out to other friends who also were in need, to continue to keep growing their businesses smack dab in the middle of all this. And we were able to get through it together. And now, I've got one girlfriend, now she's got her cordial in the airport. From literally getting laid off from her job in the middle of the pandemic to now she's got product in the airport. So you just never know what's going to happen. If you just got to stay open-minded and just be open to what the universe, the gifts that they are willing to give you, as long as you stay positive, and motivated.
Word. I love that. I love that. So what's next for you? What you got coming up? What's going on?
So next week, it's just holiday stuff. I've got a few client events coming up, some a little larger than others, and just, working on those little side satellite projects that have been kind of cultivating over the last few months, and, looking to launch that. I want to say hopefully by, if not December, January.
Okay.
Because, again, going into e-commerce, that's like a whole other brain.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole other piece. Yeah.
It's a whole other piece, and it's all non-edibles. So, that's another thing. It's like, again, with chefing, I'm not a one note person. I like to do different things and have different things. So, so that's the next big project for me. That's called Sorcière de Cuisine, and it means kitchen witch in French.
Word. I like that. Okay, well, hey, I told Nick, you already know. Let us know how Brown and Balance can help you.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm working on dates whenever we can go live again, and I'm coming to the South. So
yes,
I need to get you. I need to have you. Making the bites for a Brown and Balance live session.
That'd be so much fun.
I feel like that needs to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, just say no more. Tell the people how to find you. I don't know why they wouldn't know how to find you, but let them know how to find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at sip_bite_cocktail is the longest tag, I feel like. And then, or you can find me via my website, sipandbiteprivatechef.com. That is going to be getting some updates here soon, because I also play web designer as well. Really? I got to wear all the hats. So yeah. So, but yeah, you can find me in those two places or on Facebook. And if you're local, I'm around.
Come holler, right? Come holler. I'm getting down there. Like I said, I was looking forward to homecoming because my god sister and a bunch of other people I know all went to Fisk, and a couple of my homies went to Tennessee State. So I was like, I was coming to just hang out, kick you up. So once you stay safe first, but
thank you.
Once you guys start to kind of come down on cases a little bit, I might just make a road trip, just quick 8 hours.
And you got to come and visit the NAMM, the National Museum of African American Music. It's incredible. I did an event there, and that was just the museum, the experience. It's all just so incredible.
See a Brown and Balance road trip coming soon to come. We all gonna stay at Keisha's house. I'm just playing.
Oh God.
But no, thank you for coming back on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You and the family, so we definitely got to figure out ways for us to continue to collaborate. And like I said, once we in person, I need you on the. You know what I mean?
We're gonna make it happen.
All right. Thank you, Keisha.
Good.
I appreciate you coming out today.
Yes.
All right, guys. So that was Chef Kyisha. Make sure y'all say Chef Kyisha. Put some respect with a K on her name. You know what I mean? Because that's what she is. She is a chef. She is one of the dopest. You know what I mean? I haven't even had a chance to eat the food, but if you watch our past episode when she was on, I've actually eaten from her family's establishments as well. So with that being said, before we get to our third Black business owner, y'all already know I'm going to do it now. Campari Community, follow it on Instagram, please. Get involved, like them photos, jump in their DMs, ask them, what can you do to help? Then jump down and you jump on that mailing list, and you'll start to receive things in the mail, and you'll start to receive, stuff you never know. I always say, like I said it before, I'm going to say it again, you never know what you need until you get it, right? So it might be something that came that you had no idea that was something you need. I know we was in the depths of the pandemic. It was rough, man. I had a real rough week, and they sent me a coloring book. Man, I ain't colored since like the 80s, you know what I'm saying? But they sent me a coloring book, and I sat at my table one night. I couldn't sleep. Sat at my table and was coloring. It was really therapeutic. And it was something just to help me get through the night, man. So shout out to Campari. Shout out to the squad, the team. I love you guys. Man, thank you very much for all the support and all the love you guys have given Brown and Balance, Lush Life, Portland Cocktail Week as a whole, because that's the team and that's the squad. All right. So our third Black business owner is my dog. It's my brother, man. Like, me and this dude go way, way, way back, man. I remember him and another Brown and Balance alumni, Nigel Van, who was on earlier this season. me and Gene Samuel back in 2015 said they were the new improved version of me and Gene because we started to get a little old. And these is the young dogs and the young lions just killing the game. So straight from Baltimore, I want to say Omar's coming. Rest in peace to Michael K. Williams, but Omar's not coming. But Aaron Joseph is coming, man. So we're going to bring him on the screen.
What's up?
Oh, bro, you done went and got the whole setup there because you was sitting down chilling in pre-production.
I mean, I have my play clothes on now. I got my work clothes on, so it's time to go. It's time to go.
I said, hey, man, so look, anybody who don't know who you are, man, tell them who AJ is, man.
Oh, man, AJ is an old guy now. But when we first met, I was young and ambitious.
We ain't got none of this.
None. This is all pandemic, bro. All pandemic. This is what happens when you open up a business. No, bartender for 20 plus years. Started out my career out in the Eastern Shore of Maryland and worked in places in Annapolis, DC, and Baltimore, where I ultimately found a forever home. Charm City is truly charming and apparently has Velcro grip on my soul. So I'm here. But yeah, man, just very, very appreciative of the opportunity to just sit here and talk about something I truly love, and that's making cocktails, spirit education, and hospitality. I didn't realize I loved hospitality, but hospitality loved me from jump. So I tried to walk away a couple of times, either being a personal trainer or actually using my degree. But it just kind of felt like, hospitality was home. And once I got behind the bar, the rest is history. Wow. And I've been behind the bar or involved with alcohol and education since. So that's basically it. Just a humble soul that loves to just entertain and make great beverages. So
absolutely. I've had the pleasure of having you make drinks. We've drank together. We've hung out all over the country. We've done education, together. Like you're a solid dude, man. You definitely have. You and I both are moving into like that OG kind of status, which is crazy because we still young guys, but we're kind of moving into that because of the people we had come before us to kind of help us through, and then we always look to each other and help each other out, man. So how did Cane Collective start? Because there's a million syrups and cocktail mixes, and like that's a market that's flooded with a lot of different products. So one, what made you say I'm gonna start a business and lose the rest of my hair? Because that's what happens. That's why I look like this. You know what I mean? Right. That's why I look like this. And two, what made you say I'm gonna step into that cocktail mixer game? Because like I said, that's a really saturated area.
Yeah, no, it was something. I tell you the truth, that all great things happen with just faith and love, right? So it was the second week of the pandemic. We had an event company called Cane Collective, and we did a number of events and local events, and our events were lined up to be international events, national events, and also just some wonderful local events. And we were about to have our best year yet as far as events go. And some of the brands I was working with were finally getting hold and traction. So I felt like I was in a really good place professionally to kind of just take the next step. And then COVID hit and just wiped everything off the plate, like completely off. And I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, I finally have an opportunity to finally take a break. It was. I think we are all encaptured by that mentality that you have to hustle because you never know when your next opportunity is going to come from. However, after doing it for so many years, you welcome a long break or some kind of like break in the routine. And I think that's what I was kind of looking forward to when COVID hit initially was just having the ability to just kind of reflect and just take some time to concentrate on things I really, truly wanted to do. For a long time, I felt like I lost myself in the craft and I wasn't reflective or I wasn't moving. And that was true to myself. And I thought that time was going to be during COVID. And then the hustler came out of me and also talked to my business partner and we're like, well, what are we going to do? And we started talking about it. Unemployment was a complete sham here in Maryland. People didn't know when they were getting checks, how they were going to get in checks. And me being an independent contractor, there wasn't any kind of a structure put involved that I would even receive a check. Right. So basically I was like, well, let's do something. And, you know, we knew a couple of things that were going to happen during COVID. We knew that people were going to be stuck in the house. And we also knew people were going to drink a lot. However, we also knew that people get tired of routine. And we wanted to do something that we were still passionate about, put out there, but still had like diverse application. And what we started doing and noticing is that everybody loves craft cocktails. Nobody likes making craft cocktails. Nobody likes boiling a syrup. Nobody likes squeezing citrus, measuring this, part of that, letting tincture sit for 4 and 5 weeks. Like they do as a hobby, but if you want a cocktail, they're gonna sit there and say, I'm just gonna have a rum and coke, pour something on the rocks, or have a glass of wine, and that's gonna be it. So what we did was we tried to fill that void. I mean, we looked at the mixers out there, and you know, there's some great ones that were doing it, and there's some great companies out there that were executing, but we just felt like nobody was paying attention to craft. You know, you had a million mojito mixes, you had a million margarita mixes, you had a million sour mixes, you had old fashions, and then you had like RTDs. You had tons of like canned cocktails, or you had tons of like bottled cocktails. And for us, they were great, but they weren't what we would put out at an event. Mm-hmm. Right. And so for us to kind of just put our passion out there and put something that, you know, could provide a cane experience at home, we decided to focus on fresh ingredient, non-alcoholic mixers, something that you can use as soon as you get home. It's a 2-bottle pickup. All you got to do is add your alcohol in your mixer. It's an elevated cocktail experience, and it's simple and executable and consistent every time. We started out with 3 expressions, started selling to friends and family. I was building it out of my apartment kitchen. And we sold a case in 2 days. Then we sold 2 cases in 3 days. And then we were just constantly producing. And I hate to say it, my kitchen was getting wrecked. I got tired of like squeezing citrus, making cereals, stuff boiling over, cleaning up, mopping. You know, it was just a place. So we decided to take it and bring it to a commercial kitchen. And kind of like the same route Nikolas has been doing, we've been hitting the farmers market circuit ever since. And it's been a blessing ever since. We have gotten the notoriety and the prominence that we have established as a brand through sheer support of word of mouth. Like, we haven't spent $1 on marketing, and I'm very, very humbled by it and very grateful for the opportunity that has allotted to us. And so from that aspect, we've had some great opportunities to partner with some national brands. We've done Zoom cocktail conferences for great markets like Logitech and some national big names. But mainly what we really love is the fact that we get to build community about something we love. So not only do we have a wonderful product that I feel like is diverse in application, but we have a number of people around us that we have built a community just because they have championed our brand and our story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you just had some really big news like a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you want to share it. You know what I mean? Because you got this. Now's the time to flex, dog. Because that was.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hold on.
Huge. Yeah, it's like flex, dog. Like that was huge. Because I saw it. I wasn't hitting you on no. I text you, hey, dog. That's what I like to see, man. So go and share the people the big news that Cane Collective just had.
Yeah. So we had the wonderful opportunity to partner with a national local brand. Sagamore Spirits, one of the up-and-coming rye companies out here. They've done exceptional things as far as their distillation and blending and just creating a great product. But it's also great to have something at home, something that pays homage to the style of rye that Maryland used to produce before it was discontinued. And I applaud them for putting us in the same category as themselves. But we were honored to be selected as their consultants for their new canned cocktails that have just been released a couple of weeks ago. So every flavor and expression that they have come out with, which are 3, we created for them. And the great thing was when they came to us and kind of asked us to create these, one, we were like, you're kidding, right? Because this is kind of a bucket list for Ezra and I. We wanted to do something that was on a national level, but also to kind of just, just put our love into something that people can drink. But when we came up with the 3 expressions, it was phenomenal. And they were committed. They were committed to quality as much as we were committed to quality. So they said that they were going to stick with putting at least their 4-year rye into every can. And they weren't going to compromise new make or 2-year or something cheap. They were committed to putting their 4-year rye in there. And we had per blanche of any expression that we wanted, as long as we made it taste good. And from that aspect, we dug in. We dug in. So it was over a year of a process of back and forth. We finalized earlier this summer, and they just released Labor Day. And if you're in the DC, Maryland, Delaware markets right now, and Jersey, they're available at stores near you. And just know that they're crafted with love.
Absolutely. I love that, bro. Hey, well, look, big congrats on the public stage. I'm going to tell you, big congrats. I told you personally, but that's dope, man. You really making a serious move and doing some real things for Black entrepreneurs, you know what I mean? Like you, like me, like Nick, like Kyisha, like everybody else that we have on here, man. I was going to ask you a similar question to what I asked Kyisha, but as far as like what advice would you give? But I think you answered one that I know that I say all the time, that when you made your partnership, you both were committed to quality. And it wasn't like you just partnered with anybody. I tell people all the time, you know, just because somebody's throwing a check at you, doesn't necessarily mean you need to attach your brand to theirs, because y'all might not be in line, thinking might be different. You know what I mean? Again, quality might be off, and then now you're attached to that, and now people have a way of looking at you. I know early in my career, man, I would work with anybody because I just wanted to get out there and just wanted to, you know, get my feet in the game, and I got burned real early with a few brands, and it made me much more discerning when I do it now. So what would be some advice? I know this, I make syrups, Nick makes Shrubs. We all do different things. If we ever want to get into the game that you're in, what would be some advice you would want to give that young Aaron or young Nick that's trying to come up and get their product out?
Honestly, man, just stick with your heart. If you don't believe in this product, then nobody else will. So you have to speak passionately. You have to be diligent. You also have to be willing to do the work. Nothing's going to come easy. A lot of people I know have had similar concepts, but have always outsourced the product, and it just kind of just was stagnant. For us, this is our heart and soul in a bottle. And if you can't taste it, I'll tell you more and more about it. But yeah, we're very, very proud of everything we put out of. Also, I want to say, just take the chance, be adventurous, try new things. You won't, even if it fails, you're still a lesson to learn into that. So keep it positive. You know, just do it. Take that blind leap of faith. And then finally, for me, leverage your relationships, man. You know, we've all been a part of this game, and more than anything, it's about not just the product you produce, but also the people you know. And so it's kind of funny. I was talking to somebody the other day. It feels like right now, everything I've done in my 21-year career has finally come to a culmination right now for this product and this business. I mean, from the creation and understanding flavor profiles to establishing business relationships, leveraging and talking to consumers as well as accounts. Finally using that business degree that my mom always hounded me for to use. It's just something that, you know, every journey has a takeaway. And like right now, I'm using everything that I've learned for my 21 years being in the hospitality community. So I want to say, just take those lessons and just know that you'll apply them later. Absolutely.
Word. I love that, bro. That's some great words, great advice, man. Let the people know how to get at you, how to get it, Kane, how to order, how to do all of that.
Yeah, so we are shipping to friends, family, and all inquired. I got to say, big shout out to Josh Davis for putting us in touch with Miss Beverly Goods out there in Chicago, who reached out, who had Maryland ties, and it's been a great, phenomenal relationship. Thanks for you for structuring that. But you can go check out our website and also our Facebook page at Kane Collective, but also our Instagram at Kane_Collective. And then you can reach out to me personally at AJZ Joseph.
Word. Hey, does Miss Mary got something down there now? Because I'm actually going to buy that tomorrow.
No, brother. Yours is in the mail Monday.
My man.
Yours
cool.
is in the mail Monday.
That's all I need to know, because I'm literally going by there to go pick up some things tomorrow for some events I got coming up. So
tell her I said hello, please.
I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna say, well, now we can FaceTime Androids with this stuff now. Hopefully y'all Android people don't break my phone, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna FaceTime you when I get to the store tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Hey, bro, I appreciate you. Like I said, we've been up and down these roads together. I never saw all of us doing what we're doing now, man, but I'm so appreciative of the friendship, brotherhood, convos over the years, all that, man. Thank you, man, for just being my homie.
Nah, man, it's been a privilege and honor to watch your growth, brother, since that first day down at Camp Runamuck and just chopping it up, smoking cigars, and to looking at where we are now. I'm very honored to be a part of your growth, and then I'm also honored to just be a part of this community, man. The stage you have created is undescribable and immensely important to our culture and our growth. So, man, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man, for real. Thank you a lot, man. But we're going to get to our featured bartender, man, but y'all get at Aaron. Get some juice in your body, because I actually purchased the products, so they are good. I don't have no more. That's why I need to go put some up. They are tasty. They are good. This is not just some crapshoot stuff in a bottle like that's just at the bottom shelf of the liquor store. These are very, very handcrafted, well put together. You know what I'm saying? Mixes. So jump down and get into them. All right, man, bro. I'm gonna let you get back. I thought you was gonna make a drink. You know what I mean? Because you was there. I thought you was gonna make a drink. I didn't know.
I didn't know we had time. I feel like
I can make an executive decision. If you want to make a cocktail using the can collector, I feel like that should happen. I feel like my super producer gonna take me to small, put you on the screen, and we can get a cocktail out of you.
I mean, I can throw something together real quick for you.
Yeah. So,
definitely.
Hey, man, no better way to show the people how good it is to see how it works.
Oh wait. Is this just a jigger laying right here too? Oh no! All right, man. Well, we're gonna call this a Picasso moment because this probably will never happen again. So it's one of a kind. All right. So we got an ounce of Appleton 8-year reserve.
Nice.
Start off with that, and then we got some delicious Wild Turkey 101. Can't Run 'em Up special edition bottle.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Most people haven't cracked that, but I felt this was a good occasion.
This is the best way to. I don't even gotta tell people follow Campari. Look at all them Campari products you got on the screen right now.
We're gonna throw a half ounce of Campari in there anyway. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're gonna definitely throw some of this delicious cane grilled peach Southside into the mix. So nice. Also, what I love about our product is, again, talking about the community, we get all of our seasonal product from local farmers.
Nice.
So the peaches are from farmers in Maryland. The mint is from a local farm in Maryland. There's a ginger farm that we get in Maryland. So we are supporting everybody on this.
Very nice. I love that community, man.
We're gonna dry shake this because we just don't have ice. But
we don't have no ice.
Yeah,
Take it back to the hood days, man. I'm waiting on you to pull out a red Soto cup. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
Uh-oh. You're a little rusty, dog.
Man down.
Oh, good. That's why I love live.
This in a mixing glass.
That looks good, brother.
Yeah, man. Oh, wait. Is this just some garnish right here?
We just happen to have a garnish right there.
Happen to have a garnish right here.
Hey, guys, we didn't plan this at all. Just so y'all know, this is all live television.
We're going to squeeze a little blood orange juice in that joint.
Now, drop it in. I love
it. To cap this off, you would throw some ice in a straw and say, enjoy.
And you're good to go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now you see, I can't taste it, but I know it tastes good, so we're all good. My brother, thank you for coming on, man.
No problem.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. All right, guys. So, that was Aaron Joseph, straight from Baltimore, Kane Collective, OG in the game, one of my really dear friends, man. I'm really happy that you all were able to get the chance to learn some of his story, see what he does. Go buy yourself some Kane Collective. You will not be disappointed. So now, without further ado, the drum roll. This young lady who's our featured bartender this episode, I ain't know her until the pandemic, and I didn't see her face. I thought she was like Ghostface, when the Wu-Tang album first came out. Never saw her face, didn't see her face on her Instagrams, but she would pop into every chat and bring spice, bring life. You know what I mean? It just was all around dope person. So without further ado, I want to bring my homegirl from Boston, who I didn't know it was black people in Boston outside of the Boston Celtics, the Red Sox, a new addition, Miss Kyisha Davenport. What's happening?
What's good, Josh? That's just gonna be the vibe forever.
I didn't know.
People in Boston. It's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, every time I've been there, I didn't see no black people. So I was like, and then I meet you, and then it's like, oh.
It's mad of us. I mean, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised. Like, so we're not even about to, you know, we're not false claiming. But right. I've been in Boston for quite some time now, and there's definitely a gorgeous black community here waiting for our time to shine.
It's coming. I love it, and I hear the Brooklyn. Every time you talk, when you say Brooklyn, it comes out every time. So look, I don't even want to talk about me no more. We talk about me enough. Let's talk about you. Let's tell everybody who you are, how you got in the game. You know, you did it on the Instagram, but this is a bigger platform. I want everybody to know, you know, what's up with you.
True. Well, my name is Kyisha. Some people call me Kai. Like I said, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. And I always joke that I went to college because, or rather, I started bartending because I didn't go to college. I needed a job. Craigslist was like, you can make $600 bartending. You should go to bartending school. And I was like, okay, Craigslist. And I asked my mama for some money. I think she's watching. So once again, thank you, mommy. And shockingly, she gave it to me. And I went to bartending school. Some people, you know, they have their feelings about bartending school. But I just want to say the one I went to, all of the cocktails I learned are now they're having their like classic revival and da-da-da-da-da. And so I was like, I still got my books. What happened? But yeah, I started bartending, and at the same time, I was working in like community organizing, some local like political field work, and I left that for a minute and started bartending full time at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn from like 2012 to 2016, and that was crazy because I mean, a very short story about Barclays is that entire neighborhood was like Black and brown working class people, and the city demolished it to build this huge stadium. And the requirements to get a job there was that you had to live in the projects. You had to live in the hood. And I'm from Brownsville in Brooklyn. And so I was like, let me get up in here specifically because I'm like, there's going to be thousands of Black people here who need to be organized. So I started organizing while bartending there, and working with the union I was organizing with took me to Boston to organize full time. So I actually quit bartending. And then that was very short lived after Trump got elected. And I went back to bartending in Boston. It was not easy. Boston is not an easy city to get accustomed to. I was applying as a bartender. I would show up to the interview being very Black. At one point I was bald headed. So this bald headed Black girl is showing up to work at your dive bar. And they're like, you want to be a server? Did you want to run food? And I was like, no, baby, I'm a bartender. So it was kind of a long way coming, really just getting used to the city and getting acclimated to the environment, trying to understand that a lot of Boston is based in who you know. And people would literally just not even acknowledge me until somebody that was verified would acknowledge me. And then it was like, oh, that's Kai. And it was like, all right, that's how y'all live. But, you know, I worked it out. I worked in a few, you know, dope bars and restaurants. And back in 2018, I got connected to some organizing activist friends who were also doing food. And I opened up a restaurant called Tanam in Somerville in 2019. And I'm no longer with Tanam. That was like a wild ride. We literally I was at a bar in December, like on some night in December, I met Jose Andres. And then the next morning we woke up and we won Restaurant of the Year. Like, it was just a crazy year. And then the next month we were James Beard semifinalists. And it was just like, bop, bop, bop. Literally like 3 women of color just, I mean, like destroying ourselves in the name of fine dining and hospitality and et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, the pandemic was really stressful for us. And so I stepped away earlier this year to focus exclusively on my personal brand, which is Bar Noir Boston. Bar Noir is, initially it was I saw it as being like, I'm going to work with the city. I'm working with local state government to secure funding to build Black-owned bars and restaurants and businesses. And then over the last year in 2020, everybody said, we want more Black-owned restaurants, bars, businesses. And I mean, I was applying for grants, fellowships, scholarships, partnerships, and like doors were just getting like closed left and right. And so I'm like, okay, do we actually want to see a change here in Boston? You know, I do not like being the only Black bartender behind the bar. I do not like going out after work and, you know, you have that industry vibe where you mob from one industry bar to another and being the only one that looks like you. I have 13 brothers and sisters, you know, I like, and if I'm on, my people are on. And so you find like when you get to meet other Black people in the city, particularly in hospitality, it's like, we try to stay tight, but at the same token, a lot of people, you know, feel like, should I stay here? Is this actually my home? Even growing up in Boston, you know, I talk to my girls and they're like, maybe I'll hit DC, maybe I'll go down to Atlanta, maybe I should go to New York. And I'm like, no, we have to like stay put. You know, the only way to make this shift is that we have to get rooted. And it feels strange to not be in my own home rooting, but I feel like I was put in Boston for a reason. And so I want to help facilitate that. So now what I do with Bar Noir is really like through my own personal experience, I try to define what a Black hospitality experience in Boston actually is. You know, what does a craft cocktail made by my hands look like, taste like, feel like? What's the story behind that? And so I've been very fortunate to do that in a few different ways. I recently popped up at my homie's restaurant. It's a Thai spot in Brookline, just outside of Boston, with my girl Cecilia, aka Urban Wildflower. And we did a Bacardi sponsored pop-up and just kind of like, we flexed a little bit. I've been writing for Edible Boston magazine, which you can find online. I've been the guest editor all 2021. So there are very gorgeous cocktails and stories all throughout each issue. The fall issue just dropped last week. And then I have one more issue for this year. I was very blessed to have my cocktail on the cover of Edible Boston this summer. And early this year, probably the biggest honor all year is that I was able to contribute to For the Culture magazine, which if y'all haven't copped this yet, please stop playing with me because it is the only full-on physical and digital publication that is for and written by Black women in hospitality. And there's so much beauty and stories that we all need to be educating ourselves and experiencing in there. Yeah, and I've been a hired gun. I've been doing consulting. I have this teeny tiny dream of having my own infused spirit called Florida Water.
Big dream.
Yes, it's a big dream. It's a big dream. I think I like showcased a little bit of it on the last time I was on Brown and Balance, but I've been tweaking it, developing it. Like, if you don't know what Florida Water is, it's actually a cologne, and you typically use it to clear the energy in your space, in your house. So you wash your floors with it. You dab a little bit on your wrists, on your neck before you go out. And that's what I'm trying to do with Bar Noir is I'm trying to tell our cultural story through cocktails and put us in the spaces where we need to be. And in order to be safe and protected in those spaces, as I've learned as a bartender over the last 12 years, as I've learned bartending in Boston for about 5 or 6 years now, you have to know yourself. You have to be grounded in yourself, and you have to have the power to clear the space and energy around you so you can shine. Because you walk into rooms sometimes, and I used to wonder, like, why are they staring like that? And now I'm like, yeah, you should be. You should be. Because, you know, me and my girls, my homies, we're coming, you know. We've been doing some pop-ups. We've been working at excellent restaurants, and we're kind of at a point where I feel like you might be, Josh. I don't want to reference certain events, but I feel like I'm at a point where it's like I'm not really worried about the seat that you can offer me at your table.
No.
I know that my people are talented, they're creative, they're vibrant, in that You know, we don't necessarily have the same access to capital or be in the know, but we know. And you're about to find out. So I can't curse. Mess around and find out. That's what I'm gonna say. And my mama, I'm sorry, mommy.
Yeah.
But
Kids don't curse, because just so my brother Giuseppe last episode broke the curse button.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah, go back and watch episode 8 and Giuseppe. He broke the curse button almost immediately. It's funny, this is the part of the show where usually I would have had other questions, but you answered everything I wanted to ask you in your monologue, you know what I mean? So I love that. But you're dope. Never ever say small dream though. That's a big dream and you're gonna make it happen.
We got big dreams. Well, speaking of big dreams, Jackie, call me. I've been in your DMs. I have some questions. I'm just trying to figure some things out. You know, I know you're busy.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll do a group check. I'll do group checks.
Bless. Thank you.
I'll do a group check. As soon as the show's over. Hey man, little sis need to get at you. Done deal. He been dealing with some stuff. Speaking of Jack, prayers up, and hopefully everything goes well. His mom's been in the ER the last few days. So
yes.
You know what I mean? Jackie Summers, man, we love you, big bro. You know what I mean? Make sure everything is good there. So look, Kyisha, since you done answered every question I was gonna ask you, well, I got a couple of you know, but let's talk about your cocktail. Let's get to that. Let's get your cocktail. Let's let you break it down, describe it, inspiration, all that.
Cool. So obviously we're in September, and as soon as I was like, oh, we're going live in September, I love to sing. So I was like, party, like we're just gonna I love themes, and I love having a cocktail and bouncing around the party, getting to know people, hitting my two-step, teaching people the electric slide, because there's a lot of us, they might be watching too. I'm not saying no names, and some of us still don't know how to do the electric slide. So this cocktail is kind of a Campari-based tribute to just that celebration vibe, that vibe of, you know, really having a good time. And I would say it describes a little bit of my cocktail style. So a little bit of like culture from my perspective and the places that I've been in, worked in. I've spent quite a bit of my career working in Asian restaurants, working with different Asian fusion concepts and things like that. Just literally being a part of a much larger community here, which I'm very grateful for. So you're gonna find that in the Campari itself. So the Campari is infused with haw fruit, also known as hawthorn fruit. And it's a Chinese berry. It's a tree, and it releases these beautiful berries that are kind of like a cross between like a strawberry with a little bit of raspberry to it. Traditionally, it's actually used in sweet and sour sauce. So you can, but you'll find it in like candy. You'll find it in desserts, and you will find it in, I would say, most Asian markets, like big Asian markets, as dried fruit. So it's like these little small wheels. They look like oversized like Fruit Loops, but they're like dried fruit. And they're super easy to infuse into anything. And I put about a half a cup, like a half a cup to 1 cup of Campari in it. The longer you let it sit, the richer it gets. And I love infusing haw into bitter aperitivos, because it just like rounds out that flavor. And for people who want to explore a little bit, but aren't so keen on bitterness, I love that infusion. So if you can look behind me, you'll see the Campari in this, like, it's this color red, but it gets to this like really like deep ruby red color that is, and it's delicious. And yes, it was in a flask because I was drinking it on its own, but you know, the power of Campari. And then, so I add about 3/4 of an ounce of Cinzano Rosso vermouth, just like a just rich red vermouth that won't overpower the cocktail, gives it a little more body, something that's a little on the lighter side, so you can continue to sip it throughout the night at your leisure. And then I kick a little bit of goat's milk in there. Goat's milk is a little easier to digest if you have issues with lactose. It's got a more earthy, grassy profile than like whole milk, like cow's milk. And I like to actually use it when I clarify milk punches. It has like a different, it just brings like a different flavor and fat and texture to milk punches, but I just kicked like a 1/4 ounce of it straight out of a carton in there. And then I'm using just a few drops of rose vinegar, which now is officially going to be 3-spice shrub. I don't see why not. It makes way more sense. And I got to get me some just to cut through a little bit of that fat as well with some sweetness, but also a little brininess. And then topping it off with some blood orange soda. You can find that at like any grocery store, just a couple splashes. And then if you're really about it, you got to top it with some Prosecco. I have tried it with different varieties. So it's really your preference. If you prefer a drier cocktail, you prefer something more juicy. I'm actually sipping on a Black-owned sparkling wine right now. Shout out to S. Revere. So sometimes I'll top it with that. And yes, grab your cocktail, get on the Soul Train line. Don't make a fool out of yourself.
No, make a fool out yourself. Just have fun. Enjoy
True.
it.
You're right.
Make a fool out yourself.
My ego won't allow. My ego is like, no.
No, that's really dope, man. Look, I'm really glad I was able to bring you onto the bigger, like Instagram was great, but to bring you onto this is really dope. What's next for Kyisha? What's Bar Noir doing next?
Bar Noir.
If you want to share, you know.
Of course. Listen, I mean, Bar Noir is out here connecting Black hospitality professionals in Boston has been a challenge that has been so stressful and something that I'm so honored to do. Every time I get to meet a new person, whether I happen to run into them at the bar or I get introduced to a friend, it really just like, I go home at night and I'm like, this can happen. So if you know anybody in Boston that's bartending, DM me, like share their profile with me, put us in a group chat. I'm really trying to connect with more people because at this point in the game, I'm just trying to survey, what do we want to do? Do we want to stay here? Do we actually want to put our effort and essence into the city? Are we trying to collaborate on a pop-up level? Are we ready to start opening some spaces? I'm really just still in this stage of like seeking out where we are and kind of cataloging it. I'm working on a running list of who's who, where they work, where they've worked, and trying to figure out how can those bars and restaurants be benefiting the greater cause of changing the fact that the average net worth of a Black woman in Boston is $8. There's no reason to have such a vibrant cocktail industry with, illustrious tales panels and everyone's happy because everyone's finally made it. But, a lot of us are still sitting on the outside looking in despite being, just as talented, just as creative, just as excited, and just as hardworking. So there's that. Just hit me up, follow me on Bar Noir Boston. Definitely pick up a copy of For the Culture, pick up these copies of Edible Boston. And I'm working. So if you're trying to collab, you want to pop up, you want to work on something, we're building the business out as we speak. I may have like an announcement in a couple weeks about a new spot I'm going to be popping up at to work like full time. Like it's been fun. Employment's been fun. Freelancing has been fun, but I'm trying to, we're trying to make it. Yeah, it's been interesting. Like between leaving Tanam and now, I spent a lot of time like really investigating my worth, and it's been risky to like wait it out for the right numbers. I've had people who didn't look my way before reach out with numbers, and they're still wrong. I'm like, that's still not it. But really trusting in, the day-to-day work that I'm doing will pay off to really put me and mines in the right place.
Absolutely. All right. So before we get you out of here, I got to do some controversial You already know me. So,
why you gotta be like this?
Because that's me, because I'm just petty. So normally I'd be like, give me y'all starting five and all that other good shit. But you from Boston. Anybody that knows me knows the greatest R&B group of all time hails from Boston. So I need your new addition of bartenders in Boston. I need a Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Johnny.
Does it have? Is it all Black bartenders?
This is Brown and Balance.
Oh man. Okay. So it's tweaked slightly. I'm gonna add some backup dancers too, because there's homies in there.
Okay.
of course, I got to shout out my girl, Tercilia Valentini. She works at a spot called Franklin Cafe in Boston, dope neighborhood spot. She's also at Black Lamb in the South End of Boston. That's my road dog. Like, she came into my bar a few years ago when I was working, and I was like, who this? And I've been like just stalking her ever since. Then we finally got a chance to do a pop-up with Uncle Nearest back in 2018 and do another pop-up together this past Monday. So Tercilia, we go everywhere together. Marsha Lindsay, she's at SRV, also in the South End, just phenomenal. She just had an excellent virtual class with the Boston.com Cocktail Club. Just the most gorgeous, hospitable, classic bartender that you can know out here in Boston. Who else is coming through? Ty is always coming through. Ty need to hit me back, but Ty is always on the roster. He's a manager at a spot called Loretta's Last Call out here as well. Really phenomenal bartender. He was in DC for a hot minute, so some DMV heads might know him as well, but Ty is definitely on the list. Let me see. So we only actually recently met, but his name is Dan Amici, and he works at a spot called the Baldwin Bar up in Woburn, Massachusetts, like 45 minutes, an hour outside of Boston. Everybody knows Blossom Bar. Everybody knows Baldwin Bar. It's a really illustrious bar out here in Massachusetts. And just randomly, I pulled up to the bar and I was like, there's a Black dude here? Like, what? And that's how it is in Boston. It's just like, there's 5 of us instead of 4 of us. And, I've had, the honor of just meeting him over the last month and just like getting to sit at the bar in the cut and watch him flow. And I don't know, what his ambitions are with hospitality. But again, we're going to find out because we're on an investigation. But just off the strength, I was like, okay, you got to come on through. Let's see. Did I miss anybody?
You got 4. You got 2 more. You need 2 more.
Pandora works at Carrie Nation. Okay. They are brand new to bartending, but has been a barista for a long time and is just another gorgeous up and coming talent. I really love that a lot of like servers and baristas are kind of taking the risk now to just jump into bartending because why not? And that really opens up the pool of how many more Black and brown bartenders get to work it out in the city. Let me see. Who?
One more. Who's the Bobby Brown? Who's the meat?
Aside from me,
it should be you. Like I really
cool. Yeah, cool.
Like, you the Bob.
I'm gonna shout myself out. My name is Kyisha, Kai like Sky, and I was born and raised in Brownsville Projects, and I've been doing a lot of dope things for my community and beyond for a minute now. I was actually in a dark place for a minute over the summer, losing a lot of people. Just Black people are tired. Losing a lot of people personally and in the context of, our global family. And I was just like, I'm out this, gotta go. Like, am I even supposed to be bartending anymore? It just felt like there was so many people that like, if you say hi, they ignore you. And then when you're, speaking at tails, it's like, hi. And I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a sensitive thug. And it had just started to really wear on me. Like, did I make a mistake, 12 years ago? Should I have gone to college? I was actually supposed to go to the University of Chicago. Should I have gone to college? Like, should I have pursued music? Should I be still doing political organizing full time? Like, did I completely screw up my life? And I hit you up and you were like, hold that. And I needed that because it's been, I feel like I'm a leader in my city and that's all well and good, but it is hard work.
It is. I had hair when I started, you know what I mean? So.
I had mad grays. Like, don't let the inches fool you. People are like, you have so many gray hairs. You look so tired. And I'm like, I've been grinding. So I'm gonna put the crown on my head for now.
Man. Look, before I get you out of here, you already know we text, so I ain't gonna share what we text, but you dope. I think you great. You know what I mean? Like, from literally just meeting you over quarantine, just jumping in the comments, I was like, I saw something, and the more that we talk, the more you do, the more we see it. So you the point person when Brown and Balance comes to Boston. You're gonna be the, you know what I mean, my right hand woman, you know what I mean, or she, her, or you gotta do the you're for your, you know what I mean. Right, that's the other thing. Now you're gonna do all of that. But I appreciate everything you bring into the game, and you're actually exposing me. Again, I never knew that there was a black side of Boston. So I'm really excited to get out there and explore it and see what we can do to help you guys out and keep pushing you guys forward.
People out here, we're out here. So we can't wait to see y'all come through.
It's coming soon. Please believe it's coming real soon. So y'all, that was our featured bartender, Kyisha Davenport, who is dope. Follow her, get in tune with her. We're gonna bring everybody back on the screen. We're gonna get everybody in here real quick. You know what I mean? Final thoughts. So we're gonna let the ladies go first. If anybody, just final thoughts you want to leave with the people before we get out of here.
Keep yourself healthy and just stay safe and healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. It all makes a big difference. And we've been through a lot. It's no need to just keep adding salt to the wound. So just stay healthy. Be good to yourself. Self-care.
Absolutely. Kai?
I highly recommend y'all listen to Little Sim's new album. It just dropped. It's called Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. I mean, if you want to like go down the catalog of like what the Black girl's been doing with A Seat at the Table, boom, boom, boom. Like if you're behind the bar and you need that motivation, you need that for everybody. You don't have to be just the Black girls, but I do have on my Black Lives Matter earrings, so I gotta flex. Please go listen to that album. Go ahead and find Jesus. It's so gorgeous. Bump it at your bars. People need to be hearing more. Not just Kung Fu Kenny, not just Kanye, not just Jay. Like the girls are out here with the message too. So that's my little last little bit.
I love it. AJ, we're gonna leave Chicago for last. So
Oh, my bad.
Hey, I'm sorry, dog. He live in Baltimore, but he's a Chicago dude. Man.
I was gonna say, Nick closer to me than he is to you right
now. Figuratively, not literally.
Yeah. All right. No, I gotta say, my words of advice is, as we get back to some type of normalcy and routine, make sure you make moves that make sense. I know we're all on that grind and we're on that hustle, but this is a great time to kind of reevaluate your position and make those moves that uplift you and project you into your future and to things that you want to be doing, not things that you feel like you have to be doing. There's always going to be great opportunities as long as you stay great. So just continue to make moves that make sense.
Word. Love that. Nick.
Indeed. Man, I'm blessed and inspired by everyone on this panel today, man. Y'all are doing wonderful things. 3 major keys that I actually had before. Number 1, we kind of talked about it. Jump or don't jump out the window. That is the question. 2, what will get you to your end game? Get your Shark Tank on. Figure it out, right? And number 3, sometimes you have to have the hair inside a tortoiseshell approach, right? You gotta know when to be patient. You gotta know when to ramp it up.
Right.
So that's if I had to drop some business keys on it, from a little bit I know it and figured out, I'd say those are 3 major keys, man. Know thyself and work this out. You can do it. I mean, you look at everyone Aaron is out of here, yeah. Kyisha. And last week I was like, what is Hall? What is that? And Keisha with the Rulons, man. I mean, come on. Folk are doing great things, whether you know them or not, whether they get a plate or not, whether they shine stolen or not. Folk out here doing big things, and it's a blessing to have folk like Josh that are bringing us to light. So appreciate that, man.
Word.
All day.
Love that.
Southside, all day.
Hey, love that. Southside, baby. Wild hundreds, you know what I mean? For me, hundreds, you know what I mean? That's what we do. Now, I was going to be petty, but then all y'all came and was all positive. You know what I mean? I was going to be petty.
Not too late. It's not too late.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to throw it out because my
Super Dave about to cut the feed.
Right? No, Dave better not cut the feed. I'm going to just say this, man. Yo, congrats to, who all won plates yesterday. That plate never was going to validate what I do. I'm the people's champ.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? The people rock with me, and that means everything. The competitive person who I am, you know, yeah, I'm disappointed in the L, but like Hov said on 444, every loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
so
Josh.
And I'm gonna leave it like this before we do that. Before you get in, AJ, Michael Jordan didn't win MVP every year, but he's still the GOAT.
All the artists is good artists, but hey, Josh Davis is for the children.
You know what I mean? I'm still, you know, MJ was still the GOAT. You know what I mean? But he didn't win MVP every year. What's up, AJ?
No, I was just gonna say you won because you're part of the conversation, dog.
That's
Like,
right.
Facts. And me being in the conversation gets y'all in them conversations too.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly.
So it's all good. They just ain't want me to eat no hares off their plate. That's all.
No. You know you was putting fried chicken on that. You know, we know you
fried chicken on that plate. You understand me?
Indeed.
And they ain't want that, man. But yo, that's it, guys. That's Brown and Balance Live, episode 9. Episode 10 coming soon, man. Thank you to all our guests. Y'all are all dope, man. Y'all inspire me every day, man, to keep pushing. So we out. We'll see y'all soon.